Bienvenidos, welcome to the 23rd Annual Latinos Unidos Scholarship Luncheon. My name is Araceli Martinez Peña, co-chair of this year's luncheon, and I am in awe of my view from this podium today, because not only do we have amazing community members here, but we have a great showing of our future, our students. This is our return to our in-person luncheon since 2019. And so we thank you not only for supporting us through the last 2 years, through last year's virtual luncheon, but for joining us together today in community as we create scholarship opportunities for Hispanic students in our community. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge my co-chair, Dr. Ann K. Pisano, and her contribution to this luncheon's success. I know that she would be in awe of this view from this podium too. She had a lifelong commitment to making the college dream a reality, and she left us far too soon. Please join me in a moment of silence for Dr. Ann K. Pisano. Thank you. To begin our event, please stand for the presentation of our nation's colors by Lato High School's Navy ROTC, our national anthem performed by the Lato High School Concert Choir, and the Pledge of Allegiance recited by Daniel Almeida.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Carrie, close. Ready, cut. Turn right, turn. Left, 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 left. Forward, march. Left, left.
Please remain standing as we welcome Ana Alonso, Scholarship Scholar from the University of South Florida, for the invocation.
Please bow your heads. Dear God, as a scholarship recipient, I know well the immense blessing that such a gift bestows on the future of our youth. I am grateful for every person in this room who lives our college dreams into existence. I thank you for the companies and organizations invested in building a better future together, for their contributions have changed my life and the life of all future and present generations. Their gifts ensure that talented students have access to the key to their future and that our nation benefits from lifting this talent into our workforce. We thank you for the unity in today, as we are reminded that together, in our collective stories of triumph and challenges, we continue to forge forward and aspire. We pray that you continue to bless us with the opportunity to lift others, to give to our passions, and contribute to this great nation where dreams can come true. In all the names that we call you, amen.
Thank you, Anna. In the interest of time, you may begin your lunch. I want to begin today's program in recognizing, first and foremost, our Honorable Mayor, Jane Castor. Mayor, please stand. Since we last stood here, the mayor has guided the City of Tampa through a global pandemic and countless other transformational milestones. The Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council has had the unique honor to work hand in hand with the mayor to create countless opportunities for Hispanics in the City of Tampa. Will all of my fellow members of the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, past and present, please stand to be recognized. Appointed by the mayor, the council is formed by a group of Hispanic citizens that serve to lift the voice of the Latino community. Initiatives such as Dale, 813 Cafecito, Canastas de Amor, and Latinos Unidos help us to do just that. This luncheon has become a vital platform to showcasing the increasing influence and economic impact of Latinos in this country. We've had the enormous privilege of partnering with talented and accomplished keynote speakers that are shaping the future of Latino representation in all sectors and all industries. It's given us the opportunity to partner with you to establish impactful scholarships for local students at the University of South Florida, Hillsborough Community College, and the University of Tampa. Every single sponsorship this year is going to change the life of a young person. It's going to open doors where they were closed. And I want to share the story of a Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Scholarship recipient who couldn't be here because of her job duties, but I have always been in awe of her. Joanna Cintron Sosa. She's a young girl that I worked with at Shields Middle School, who went on to be a Mayor's Hispanic Scholarship recipient at both HCC and USF. She majored in biomedical sciences and is now a cytogenetic technologist, which I have no idea what that is, at Genomics. I might even be saying it wrong. Her life is forever changed, as is true for all of our scholarship recipients we've helped along the way. We've literally changed the trajectory of their journey, but also of their parents, and also of their families, and also their future children. So I want to recognize our sponsors at this time. I'd like to foremost recognize our first student champion sponsor, Drift. Drift is an innovative and flourishing company that invests in our future. So I want to thank you, Drift. That's the cue for the commercial. Thank you.
So why are today's business websites stuck in the past? Generic, static, and confusing fanatic. Websites should be built for customers, for conversations, for revenue, and for speed. It's time to modernize your website for buyers and customers. Go faster with Drift.
Awesome, thank you once again, Drift. Next, I'd like to recognize our student promoter sponsor, the Adele S. Burnett Memorial Fund. Adele's wishes were to establish a legacy of love through giving, and she's done exactly that. In fact, through Simon Canasi, we've established a separate endowment at the University of South Florida in memory of Dr. Anke Pisano. I'd like to recognize next our student advocate sponsors. If you'll stand, please. The Helios Foundation, Mosaic, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and the USF Foundation. Thank you to our media sponsors, 92.5 Maxima, WFLA Tampa Hoy, Rumba 106.5 iHeart, Clear Channel Outdoor, Univision Tampa Bay, WEDU PBS, Tampa Bay Times, and Centro Tampa. Our student supporter sponsors are included in your program and in our presentation, and we're grateful to all of our student coach sponsors here today. We are in deep gratitude for your partnerships because the endowments that we've established at 3 institutions now exceed $1 million. You have helped remove the #1 barrier to accessing the college dream. Together, we've lessened the burden for all of our local Latino high school students to dream freely. Hillsborough County Public Schools is the 7th largest district in the nation with over 85,000 Hispanic students working very hard to earn their way to graduation and beyond. And thanks to the generous donations of several of our sponsors, we have many college students learning and engaging with you today. We also have a special group of students attending from Leto High School who are part of Latinos in Action. It is a leadership and college preparatory program. I want to recognize our amazing ROTC cadets and our Leto High School choir. Amazing job. All students, will you please stand to be recognized? In fact, today we have a special young lady, Miss Naomi Serrano, a rising senior at Tampa Bay Tech, to help solidify how your gift is impactful.
Gilbert Keith Chesterton once wrote, "Education is simply the soul of society as it passes from one generation to another." I have witnessed this generational transfer from seeing my 5-year-old brother Ethan learn to read and write this year in kindergarten, to celebrating my father achieve his dream of obtaining a master's degree in business, to me standing here before you today as a high school junior ready to apply to college this summer at HCC, USF, and UT. Most important, I can see the soul of society passing from one generation to another by seeing many dreams fulfilled right here today by your generous donations that will one day become a scholarship. Thank you for having faith in us to lead tomorrow. Thank you for inspiring us to continue our education. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to pursue our dreams.
Thank you, Naomi. University presidents, I think you can see that the young talent in this room alone is one to be reckoned with, and they are coming your way. We thank Hillsborough Community College, the University of South Florida, and the University of Tampa for the opportunities each of you provide, and for your partnership over the last 20 years. University presidents and special guests, please stand up as we recognize you. HCC President Ken Atwater. Thank you. USF President Ria Law. And UT President Ron Vaughn. I'd also like to recognize Roberto Pisano and Rafael Pisano, family of Dr. Anke Pisano. Mr. Brian Serrano, Chair of the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council. And our keynote speaker, which we will hear from shortly, Chief Technology Officer for Drift, Elias Torres. Thank you. All elected officials who join us today, please stand. Thank you. A very special moment in our program today is when we present our Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award to a deserving community member. But this year, we hold a dear place in our heart because our recipient exemplified the value and all the characteristics of what we envisioned when this award was created. It was meant for a leader who leads behind the scenes, who changes the world behind the scenes without real formal recognition, and with a steadfast heart of uplifting others. I'm going to turn to my fellow council member, Master Deputy Marilyn Alvarez, for the presentation of the Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award.
The Matilda Martinez Garcia Leadership Award recognizes persons or organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the betterment of the Hispanic community. This year, the Council has unanimously chosen our esteemed colleague, Dr. Anke Pisano, who unfortunately left us all too soon. Dr. Pisano was born in Cuba, but immigrated with her parents to the United States in search of freedom. She was an alumna of Jefferson High School and the USF Latino Scholarship Program. Dr. Pisano understood firsthand that higher education is pivotal in achieving the American dream. She devoted her entire career to education-focused positions, from undergraduate recruiter to Florida College Access Network to scholarship fundraiser, and in each she opened doors of access and opportunity to students and parents who thought higher education was out of their reach. In her last position as Director of Admissions for the USF's Morisani College of Medicine, she recruited, encouraged, and influenced hundreds of students, many of them minorities, who are now practicing physicians throughout our state and nation. Her attainment of her PhD in 2020 not only fulfilled her dream, but has also already inspired several, especially women, to launch their pursuit, encouraged by her as a role model. As a 10-year member of the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, Dr. Pisano led online outreach initiatives to inform the community through our 813 Cafecito Forum. She was involved in the Council's DALE program to inspire young Hispanic high school students to pursue a college degree, and was co-chair of this year's Latinos Unidos Luncheon before passing away unexpectedly. Dr. Pisano impacted others with her quiet resilience, collaborative leadership style, her empathy, and her humility. Dr. Pisano will be missed, but her legacy of service and community will live on. Accepting this year's 2022 Matilda Martinez Garcia Award on behalf of Dr. Anke Pisano is her father, Roberto Pisano, and her brother, Rafael Pisano.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to stand before you not only as a council member for the City of Tampa Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, but as a proud brother of Dr. Anke Pisano and my father, Roberto Pisano, father of Anke. This award means so much for our community. When I began working myself on this council, I met some amazing individuals, and then I understood why my sister wanted to be part of this council and dedicate so much of her time to it. Being the first to have gone to the university, my sister going to receive a higher education, our parents came to this nation as many immigrants. They didn't know the course. They didn't know which way to take it. Who do we ask the questions to? And I saw my sister, being the first that really spoke English, trying to navigate these waters. And I found like we were looking almost in despair, but with hope. And there was individuals that presented themselves with a similar type of counsel. And they extended a helping hand, and they guided my sister. They came to our home. They reviewed her grades and her honors. And we found a way. But it was because someone in the community dedicated themselves to lend a helping hand. And that guide is here today as well, Miss Beita Canasi, the mother of Simone Canasi, who was a big inspiration to my sister. And as I grew through the age, through the years, and Anke went to USF and she graduated, made our family very proud as the first university graduate, I saw Anke become to get involved in things, and that's when she joined this council years after. Then I found myself joining this council, not only based on her inspiration for me, but what people did, like Miss Candace. There's some words that can't really substitute the feeling that I'm feeling, but there's a unique sorrow and a pride, and my sister represented that for me. And this award, the Matilda Martinez Garcia Award, another leader who represented our community very, very strong advocate. I'm sure Anke is looking down upon us this day, and she's elated. And so am I, and so is my father. This is a wonderful award, and the substance it carries is the heart that she put into everything that she did for this community. So I am honored, along with my father, to receive this award on behalf of Dr. Anke Pisano Gray. And I thank each and every one of you for what you do to help our future bright minds. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Now I'd like to take the time to introduce the Chair of the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, Brian Serrano.
All right, thank you, Araceli, and congratulations to the Pisano family for accepting the Matilda Garcia Award on behalf of our Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council, and Dr. Anke Pisano, well deserved for all of the work that she did on the council. Gracias por ser una familia maravillosa y por todo lo que hacen para nuestra comunidad. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our 25th year of hosting the Latinos Unidos Luncheon. My name is Brian Serrano, and I am proud to be serving as the chair of your Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Council. Many of you may not know this, but our council was established in 1983, 39 years ago, where we were commissioned by then Mayor Bob Martinez to serve as the liaison between the local city government and you, our Tampa Bay residents. 39 years later today, we are proud to continue that tradition through various projects, activities, and events such as this luncheon where you're at right now, today serving under Mayor Jane Castor. We thank you for coming out here, and we hope to see you next year to celebrate our 40th anniversary and 25 years of the Latinos Unidos Luncheon. Now, it's okay, woo woo, we clap. This wouldn't be possible without all of your contributions here today. And without further ado, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you, for the great city of Tampa, your Mayor, Jane Castor.
Thank you, Brian. It's so exciting to be back together. We had the State of the City earlier, and I said for all of those who have been spending the last couple of years on Zoom meetings, one, it's nice to see in person, but it's also nice to see everybody appropriately clothed from the waist down. So, just saying. And I also want to point out, my past in law enforcement. We have our sheriff here, Chad Chronister, and our police chief, Mary O'Connor. And as you saw, Marilyn is a representative, and I don't see Martha, but we have representatives from both law enforcement agencies on the Mayor's Hispanic Advisory Committee. And I tell you, I couldn't be more proud of the committee and all that they do. As you have seen, the Cafe Con 813 Cafecito, the lunches that we have every year during Hispanic Heritage Month. I mean, just the community events that are done, the list of accolades, community involvement is just endless for this committee, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And also, I must say that our meetings are a blast. We have so much fun at the meetings, and always well organized by Brian, but always a list of all of the accomplishments, of the goals, and the strategic approach in how they are going to reach out and help our community. And every time I get a call from Brian, the first thing he says is, "What can I do? How can I help you?" And so it's really been great. Brian was somebody that I leaned on through COVID to have that connection to our Hispanic community. And so I couldn't be more thankful for what the committee does above and beyond what their day jobs are. They are always ready, willing, and able to help us in the city of Tampa. So I am so excited about that. So, and also, I think everybody knows Maribel. I said it sounds so much nicer in Spanish. Mirabel. Will you stand up? Our new Hispanic liaison, the first in the city of Tampa. Absolutely wonderful. So here I just want to talk a little bit about the significance of this event and to let you know the difference that you're making in a young person's life. And I really think that this will be underscored as I introduce the keynote speaker. But I'll tell you from a personal standpoint, and many of you have heard me tell this story before, but I came from a large family, 5 kids. My dad was a cabinet maker, and there wasn't money for college. Education was certainly encouraged and supported, but the funding wasn't there. And I got the break of a lifetime from the University of Tampa in the form of an athletic scholarship. And I am the first person to graduate from college in my family. And the reason for that is that somebody took a chance on me. Somebody opened up that door, and the key to that door has opened every other door in my life, and it's the reason I'm standing before you today as the mayor of the greatest city in the nation. So please, I know that you'll hear, you saw the posters outside, you'll hear from some of the students, but please understand that whatever donations that you give to the scholarship fund are going to pay back dividends, not only to you personally, but to our community as well. Just to be that individual that gives a young person the opportunity to realize their dreams is just something that is an incredible opportunity, again, that just reaps so many rewards. So thank you all very much, and when you fill out the cards, I always tell everybody, just put an extra 0 on there. And if you need a credit card number, I know our superintendent of schools, Addison Davis, is more than happy to help you out with that. Now, I do have a proclamation, and I think I'm going to give this to you, Brian, if you want to come up. So we have a proclamation that talks about our Hispanic Advisory Committee and the Latino Unidos Luncheon that showcases the growing presence and economic impact of Latinos in our city. Now, I think everybody in this room understands that Tampa is a minority-majority city, and that our Hispanic and Latino population is growing by leaps and bounds. And so, you know, we as a city certainly embrace the diversity and embrace all that the Latino community can bring to us. So far, through scholarship endowments, over $1 million, Latinos Unidos has been able to help so many different students. And we already saw where Anke won the Matilda Garcia Leadership Award in honor of her incredible dedication, not only to this committee and this event, as you all know, she chaired it for a number of years, but for what she did for our community each and every day, and for USF students. She was given a chance as a young student, and she never ever forgot that. So, now, therefore, I, Jane Castor, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the City of Tampa, Florida, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, May 11, 2022 as Latinos Unidos Day. Congratulations. All right, now comes the treat. So we get to hear from our keynote speaker. And one of the things I get to introduce, but one of the things that I'll just say this. I like the short introductions. I hate when I'm giving a speech and the introduction's longer than my speech was. So I'm going to try to make this pretty quick, but I want to tell you about just a little bit about Elias Torres first. So he and his family fled Nicaragua some years back. Everyone came to Tampa not knowing how to speak English. Elias went to Leto High School, where, yes, all right, next to Chamberlain, I'll give you that. But he went, he excelled, he did very, very well on his SATs, clearly learned how to speak English, and with the opportunity of a scholarship from this event, he was able to attend the University of South Florida and graduate with a degree. So this shows you, yes, I'm seeing all those bull signs without a doubt. So he went on to further his education. He worked with IBM up in Boston for about a decade, and then he went out on his own, and he developed the company Drift. So the way that I met Elias is that they were looking to open an office somewhere, either in the United States, and I believe they were even looking at Dublin, Ireland. So when they came to do their visit here, myself, Craig Richard from the EDC, Bob Rolak from the Chamber of Commerce, we laid it on strong. We went to the taco bus, we got some of the best Hispanic food. We sat around the table and we talked and talked and talked and talked. And Elias said, I love this place. He said, I don't see people that look like me up in Boston. The food that I love and I know that is a part of my culture, I don't get to have on a regular basis. And then I found out that his mom still lives here. I'm like, oh, we have got this deal sealed. But as soon as he came, he got involved with the community. He clearly had to run the business and take care of his family, but he got involved in the community, helping other small businesses, helping other entrepreneurs, getting involved in the Embark Collective. In the short time that he has had his business here and had his family here, he has made a dramatic impact in the city of Tampa. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say today. So please put your hands together and help me welcome Elias Torres to the stage.
Once upon a time, there was a boy that arrived in Tampa, Florida. He was with his mother and his two young brothers, and they had very little to survive. He wasn't tall, blonde, or strong, but he could sure talk a lot. Every day he had to find out how to provide. He'd go to Leto High during the day, worked at McDonald's in the afternoon, cleaned offices at night with his mother. Then one day he started going to USF thanks to a USF Latino scholarship, but continued to work full-time at different places to make sure him and his family could eat and live. But one day he had given a chance. He was told that in order to achieve his dreams, he had to go to a faraway land in the north, a place where not just the air was cold and it snowed, but the people were extremely cold too. Nothing like he was used to before. Everything was very expensive, and everyone there was tall, blonde, and strong. Nothing like him. You could always spot him because he would be talking always, either getting in trouble or finding a better way. After 10 years, he was working as an indentured servant for a big giant called IBM. He decided he needed to escape. He wanted to find his own land and create a kingdom for himself. But he had to face so many challenges because nobody gives a loan or investment to people that are short and brown and talk a lot. But he found a way little by little. He started to join a small plot of land, made a friend, he then found a bigger one, and so on. His dream was to build a rare type of a kingdom. In that land, they called that kingdom unicorns. Nobody believed that a short brown kid that talks a lot could build one of these unicorns. People didn't want to join his kingdom, people would deflect the kingdom, investors would reject them, and worse, the pandemic hit the land and slowed down all construction of this kingdom. But he persevered, he persisted, he kept supporting his people until the day that arrived where he achieved his dream. A great giant called Vista Equity Partners came and saw that he had built what he had built and decided to buy them for $1.2 billion. He was able to use that money to pay his investors back, pay money to his people, to his employees, and to keep some of it for his family. And he will live happily ever after once he can come back to a warm land of Tampa, Florida. So, I guess it worked. We just did it this morning. But why is this story different, right? I just want to make sure that we have to highlight it's really hard for an immigrant, as we heard from the Pinzanos, right? It's hard for an immigrant to come into this country and break ground, break through, right? Because we do not have, should we take that? Yeah. We do not have the network, the opportunity, the generational wealth that families can help you and support you when you're buying a home. I know a lot of people that when they get married, their parents give them money and they buy a home, and it's simple, but not for us. Like, I was working part-time with my mother, and we were able to buy our first home. But it's very difficult, right? And sometimes we don't even realize how much we don't know. We don't know anybody. We don't have savings account. We don't have anything to fall back on. And the truth is that a lot of people see us in a very different way. They see us as immigrants. They see us as fruit pickers, cleaners, service people, and they don't think that we're capable of achieving great things, right? Why? Because we're working our way through that. And we need to create more role models that others can see and say, wow, we should invest in these people because they're just as talented, as intelligent, as capable, as hardworking as anybody else here, as any other immigrant that has arrived to this country. And so, how does this happen, right? Why are people, Latinos, blacks, and other underrepresented people able to achieve the same things despite the hardships, despite the inequities, despite the discrimination? Because we have people that support us. We have people that gave us the breaks, right? I'm a self-made man, but that doesn't mean I didn't get a lot of help. I can go back and trace my life, so many key moments in my life where there was somebody that made a huge impact. Some of those people are here right now, right? We have Miss Oliva, who was my Leto High School counselor. And Miss Judy Blanco, who was my math teacher, and she put up with my shenanigans and my talking a lot. The stuff I learned from her, I still use it today, right? My computer scientist, Donna Perino. And this is a really special place. I don't think I could ever gone to a better place when I arrived to this country in 1993. Not knowing anyone, with my mother and these women and others, Patsy Sanchez, Anke, everybody, right? It's like, I felt supported. I wasn't afraid. I felt like someone's got my back. You know, there was the banks that were giving me the scholarship, and I felt that I had people, right? That I wasn't alone. And so that took away a lot of the fear and just propelled me to just keep trying and keep going further and not be worried about the color of my skin or what people were thought about it. I felt normal here, right? It was a rude awakening going to the north and realizing the difficulties that all of Latinos are facing throughout the United States. There's hundreds, if not $1 trillion being given in investment to startups for people that want to chase their dreams and become entrepreneurs. But yet only like about 2% of that goes to Latinos, and similarly to women, similarly to blacks. And so it's a struggle that we want to get started. We want someone to take a chance on us. And what I've realized over the past years is that my job is to keep fighting the fight, keep progressing, keep achieving these things, and showing the rest and you that you can achieve your own version of your own American dream. I'm thankful for this community, for Tampa. I'm thankful for this country, because I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I accomplished here so far in my own country. And it's sad to say. The truth is that this is a very special place, that despite the inequities, there's lots of opportunities, and I want to encourage the students especially to take a big chance, right? To think big, to read, to meet, to look up for role models, because we are here, and there's a few of us, but there's plenty, there's enough. All you need to do is see it. It's possible. I'm right here. It's possible. You can do it yourself. I was a Leto. I got suspended once. I don't want to tell you my whole record, but it's going to be okay, you know. So I think that we're almost done here. I want to, there's something that this weighs huge in my heart. I've been doing a lot of sponsoring of the USF Latino Scholarship myself now, but thank you for coming here. Thank you for buying the tickets and raising what we raised so far. But I think that this is a very special moment right now. I think this is probably the greatest moment in your life to invest in this generation. I would like all the Leto students, I would like all high schoolers, and I would like all college students to stand up right now for a second. So look at their faces. I asked them, I talked to them a little bit at the reception earlier, and I said, raise your hand if you're Latino. Guess how many hands went up? This warms my heart, because where I live, there's not a lot of people that look like me. But everybody here looks like me. And look at them, and look at their age, and look at their potential and the intelligence and the raw abilities that they have within them, because of their backgrounds, because of where they came from, because of their hardships, because of the different perspectives that they have acquired. This is the generation that you all can invest in. And so what I would like to ask you is, would you stand with me and say, stand up if you're willing to give through the pledge cards today, but stand up to show your support if you're willing to give $1,000 today, additional, to give a scholarship for these kids to get the break of their lives and to go on and do great things for themselves, for their families, and for their communities. Please stand up. Thank you, thank you. That's a good number. Stay there, stay there, stay there. If you can. Let's be respectful and inclusive. But if you can do 500, could you stand up? So I got to do a little bit of accounting here if there's any accounting majors, but this is what's happening right now. If we raise $25,000, and I think we're close to it. What do you think, Anna? You're my eyes. She's my eyes and my hands on the floor. So if we do $25,000, I will match another $25,000. So we gotta make sure we hit 25,000, right? Could you stand up here if you can give $100 extra? If anybody else would like to match my 25,000, would you please stand up? Raise your hand, please. Thank you very much.
I am not so sure that I can follow that because that is an incredible accomplishment for our council. I want to thank every single one of you. I also want to remind you to fill out the pledge card for your pledge. Thank you. And I would like to invite the high school students that are here today to go around and pick up your pledge cards if you just want to hold it up so that the students can come and get that from you. Thank you. Can we have one of the council members assist the students? While we are taking a moment to do that, I want to close really with thanking not only each and every one of you for being here. We have a special gift for Elias Torres today, and so we're going to be presenting him with that. But I also want to take a moment to recognize our Ms. Laura Lee, our Secretary of State. If you could please stand to be recognized. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Senator Janet Cruz, thank you. And also our Superintendent, Addison Davis. Thank you. I think that all of these people help make sure to lift what we're here for with our proposition to live college dreams. I'd like to now invite the mayor and Brian and Elias back to the stage, please. Thank you. Okay, so I will let you come the floor to the
All right, it is my honor to be able to present the key to the City of Tampa. As I said to Elias Torres, as I said before, that this key doesn't open any doors, but it opens the hearts of every single Tampanian. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This has got to be the most successful luncheon that we have had. Thank you for choosing Tampa, and thank you for being here.
Wow, so thank you. Gracias, thank you, Elias, for your commitment to our mission here today. And thank you for inspiring us to be comfortable in the discomfort and to courageously live out our purpose. Your words have imprinted the inspiration for us all to stand up and to support our future generations. Thank you all for joining us today. Till next year. Thank you so much for being here.